dating older versus younger. Men sometimes like to go younger, especially if you want to have children and things like that. But my rules around dating as far as age, I'll go down probably
Oh, man, you about to get me in
five,
trouble.
10 years, 5 years young, no, 10, maybe 10 years younger. And yeah, I would say 10 years either way.
So
And I'm
34. So
limit,
34.
huh?
34. 34.
Okay.
No, I look, you see me? I did like this. 34. It triggered. Go ahead. I want to
Okay,
hear it.
35. I don't,
Okay.
we'll see.
35.
Yeah, because I feel like 35, like for a woman, I feel like men that are 35 are like at least mature. They have some successes in their careers. Um, but at the same time, they might want children still, and I'm kind of shaking my head. Like you gotta have a whole lot of money at 35 for me to have a baby with you.
Right.
Like,
But you know what? 35 is actually a great 35 is actually a great year, especially for a man, because here's the thing. I think that we have to realize is that, as men, the responsibility of not only a child, but also the person you're having a child with, you have to be mentally stable for that, right? Let's be honest, we're not as men 25, 20, 30. We're not mentally stable to hold a house down. So that's a definitely great age, but you will have to deal with men wanting to have children.
yeah,
Definitely. Definitely.
yeah. And then older than like 55. I don't know, you're kind of starting to get out of my generation. We don't listen to the same music. We don't have the same energy. But I mean, but like our generation, like we look good. We in the best shape of our lives. We are
Right.
fading that generation behind us and the ones
Mhm.
before us. So
Right. I agree.
that's my opinion. Kiki, what's your opinion on dating younger and older?
So I think I've typically like dated people that were younger than me, but not so 44 now, so I
Mhm.
won't really go lower than 40.
Okay.
And as far as older, the oldest person that I've dated, let's see, 9 years. So he was 53.
53. Okay. That's
Mhm.
yeah,
He
that's
was
not
still
too
born in the 70s. You made the cut. Like 1967 might be a little bit.
bad.
Born in the 60s. But yeah, you were still born in the 70s, so we're still kind of, like I said, in the same, generation. So to me,
Yeah.
that's like not too old, but yeah.
Okay.
From a male perspective, I want to hear these numbers.
Oh well, mine's is real simple. Okay, so for me, I would probably say no younger than 38. No younger than 38. With exceptions, there are exceptions to the rule. So if I have to throw in an exception clause, it would be maybe 35. That's an exception clause, right?
Okay.
That's a flexibility because there's nothing. No, I don't believe in hard lines, right? Because there are other variables that can reach that. So let's say 38 with the possibility of 35. And then I would probably say young. This is the part where I'm getting ready to probably get cussed out, but it's okay. I've been cussed out before, blocked, and everything else. So it would probably be me being 50. It will be drum roll, please. 54,
Okay.
54, 54,
Okay.
53, 54. The exception would be 54 and a half.
All you get is 6 extra months. I'll give you 6 months grace
Right,
period.
right. If you
But the
get
thing
ready,
is, like,
if
as
you get
good
ready to
as we
be
look, you don't know when you first meet somebody
right,
Like
Right.
you really don't know. You have to ask or do some investigation to really to find out. So what if
Right.
you meet a woman, she's just everything. She has everything else on your list. You know, she's beautiful, she's in shape, and you find
Uh-huh.
out she's 55.
Is that a question? Is that a
Yeah,
rhetorical question?
that's
Look,
no.
I'm trying to get out of that one. But so I'm gonna say, yes, there are exceptions to the rule, right?
Okay.
Now going back, there is no exception, right? Going forward, yes. But here's the thing. I have a young mother, right? My mom is like 66. She'll be 67, 67 coming up, right? And I kind of feel certain kind of way about somebody that probably could have played in the same playground with my mama. You know what I mean? I'm just being honest. Like, I'm gonna feel a certain kind of way. You know what I'm saying? You and my mama gonna probably have more in common than me and you. You know, so it has to be a very special person, and I would consider it. So, that's where I am on that.
Okay, somebody was like 54 and a half. They like
54.5. 54.5.
Yeah, that means if you're 54 and you're getting ready to be 55 in July.
keep it to yourself.
Right,
If you
right. Oh, damn, man. I'm sorry. My bad. Good meeting you. No, I'm talking, but
as you age though, like
oh,
I mean, so
right,
that number will have to keep going up
right. But you know what?
until you
As
reach
I
54 and a half, and then that's when
but
it's like
but
that's it.
I'm listen. Here's the thing. I'm just gonna boldly say this. There are a lot of men that are very well off at a very, very much mature and older age that still able for whatever reason. I know they want young women, they want your money. Okay, fine. Guess what? We don't care about our money at that point, right? Because guess what?
Mhm.
Even when we're in our 50s, right, and we'll have the ability to take care of a woman, it makes us feel accomplished, right? So
Mhm.
if we set out in our 70s, right? Let's say 70, right? And I typically, because I have an uncle that's 70, and his average age of girlfriends is typically around 40, 45, right? He's
Mhm.
well to do, has his stuff in order, and he deals with her when they deal with each other and they have a great time. So I don't ever subscribe to being, you know, being afraid of being alone. I will never be alone. Right? As long as I am taking care of myself
Mhm.
and being able to have the ability to take care of someone else, someone needs tuition to finish out their masters. And guess what? I may have the ability to do that.
I've got it. With the white
Okay,
man
you
once
too.
said, it ain't tricking
Let's
if
do
you've
it.
got
Yeah.
it.
It ain't tricky. Because I can't take it with me, right? We can't take it with us, right? So we
Yeah.
might as well give it to our kids first and
Mhm.
then the rest over to uh whatever her name. Shoot, I don't know. This week.
This week, okay. Yeah, and I hear you because like yeah, I dated someone that was like 60, 61, I think, and like yeah, and I'm in my 40s, and I was just like, I mean, he knew that like I wasn't like after his money, but I felt like he that was like his end, like he felt like I was gonna be a sugar baby eventually, and I was just like. I'm too young. I'm not ready to be a sugar baby. Like, I
Yeah,
got too much going on for myself. I'm not
you know,
ready to settle down and take care of you, Papa.
right.
Like,
Like,
I'm
oh
in
man,
the street.
I'm gonna give you old, I'm gonna give you diabetes, old man. It's my sugar, baby. Yeah, I'm full of sugar.
Sugar, like,
I'm gonna make you
you know
increase
how
your
much
insulin.
sugar is in chocolate? Like,
Oh,
have you
okay.
looked?
So if you guys watch the Dear Future Wifey podcast,
Okay.
No.
so it's a really good podcast. It's a
I,
really,
I've
really,
I've
really good
I've
podcast.
seen, I've heard of it.
Yeah,
I've
it's
heard of
really good. So he had one episode where there was a young lady, and she was about, I mean, maybe 43, 44, beautiful, beautiful woman. And she was married to this older white man. I'm talking about old, old. and he was in love with her and she had love for him. Not definitely was not in love with her, but it was like it worked. Like I definitely think you should watch it for sure because it was like they just had an arrangement. He was getting
Right.
something from her and she was getting something from him
Right.
too. But he had been in her life for the longest time. Like he had paid for the whole master's degree. He put her on, like he taught her about investing. So I think sometimes with women, I think with older men, is you're, especially when you're a successful woman, you're looking for someone that can like teach you something and like,
Mm.
you know, give you some game. And I think that that's what this man
Yeah.
did for her. Like he
Yeah.
definitely elevated her lifestyle. I mean, and she was successful in her own right. She was I believe she was a nurse practitioner. So, you know, no dummy or anything like that. But yeah, it was a very, very good episode. Like I said, he was smitten with her. Like I think he had always kind of had a thing for her. She was beautiful and she wanted to be stable and she agreed to marry him, you know, basically to be his life partner. Who knows how much time he had left. And
Right.
he was getting what he was getting out of her and she was getting what it was good. It was a good episode. Very good.
And you know what? It's funny that you said it because I was just thinking like I'm always thinking. So I was as you were talking, I would say women are interested more in the game than the gains, right? As far as the monetary things that we are, I think you guys are more interested in the game part of the even when the date is young, right? The fact that we can lay something on you to make you think about it, right? And I think sometimes men focus on the gains, which is the amount of money they made produce, right? And I tell a lot of men, well, guess what? Women are probably making as equal or more to you now. So that idea has to go away, right? The 1954 way of doing it in 2024 don't work no more because women got that. So now what do you have, right? Only thing you have is information and game to actually be able to help, in a sense, guide the woman in a direction that that's best for her. So yeah, I can agree with that.
Question that I have about a situation like that, like if she's, in this situation during like her prime years, right?
Mhm.
By the time she's 54, she back out here on the market because she has, given her prime years to, this older man. And now she 55. So she's no longer 54.5. So Mark is like, hey, you know what I'm saying? If I had met you a
6
year
months
Right,
ago.
right.
I might have gave you some time, but now her window or her pool now is smaller than it was,
Right.
at now, now this man has passed on. And I don't know, is he writing her in the will? Are they just dating or are they married?
They're
Like,
married.
oh,
They're
they're
married.
married.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
they're
okay. So
married.
she's gonna be well to do. So she could just
Yes,
get her a boy toy or something.
yeah, she'll be. I believe he like he, you know, definitely was retired, but he owned believe he owned like a semi truck dealership. So old dude, well, he was paid.
Wait, they
Okay,
said he was 90?
so he was a young 92.
A
So I
young
didn't
90.
remember him being 90, but yeah, he was definitely like it was a really great episode. He was very vibrant. Definitely he had a great spirit about him. He was a good overall good person. So I can see like I don't know, you just really have to watch it. Like when I watched the episode, I went in with a certain, perspective, like, oh, what's she doing, sugar baby type thing. Once I watched the whole episode, I actually saw that there was a lot of mutual love and respect between the two of them. And they were both getting something out the deal.
Okay.
She was getting security.
Yeah.
She was a single mom. She had, he
Right.
loved her. She had these 2 kids, beautiful woman, had her, she was successful in her career. But, here comes this man that I want to take care of you. And I also believe, he was lonely. He was elderly man, he had already been in a marriage for 40, 50, some odd, so I think he needed that companionship, and she was willing to give that to him. So that's why I say I think he was always in love with her, probably kind of just infatuated, beautiful woman, maybe, had always smitten with her, and she had love for him, and she cared for him deeply enough to be his companion.
Hey, it's better than being out here in these streets and you not getting nothing.
Right. And I mean, like I said, he was a very smart person. He made her rich before they even, got married, because he was someone that was always in her life. So he was giving her all this financial advice, advice about where to invest. It's like he literally made her a millionaire.
Wow.
Just based off his advice. So yeah, it was, like I said, it was a really good episode, and there was a lot of genuine like love and respect between the two of them. Like I said, they both were getting something out the deal.
Yeah, and also just to touch on that point, like just to clarify, because I think sometimes when people hear and really it's the way it's positioned. Some people use the terms as, well, when women get a certain age, they age out. I think that's kind of like a disrespectful way for looking at a true point. Yeah. So I would probably say it's factual, due to the fact that we are very physical, right? If we had two choices in the front of our eyes as men, we're gonna pick the younger, fitter, right? In most cases. Right? Not all cases. Somebody will, no, not me. I remember. No, in most cases, okay. And so some people say, well, that's unfair, and so. That's unfair. Okay, let's just say that's unfair. So let's reverse it. Let's flip it for a second, right? What's unfair for us when we is in our 30s and we have women that's 30, 35, and we may not have turned that corner? Guess what? You leave us with someone that's more mature and a little bit more established. You see what I'm saying? So it either way, it's an unfairness on both sides, right? So the fairness for us would be, again, we like you, we love you, we're gonna be with you, we're gonna be trying to make it work and whatever, but you're gonna leave me for somebody who's a little bit more mature and a little bit more established. Yeah. So it's still it balances out.
That's true.
That's true.
That is so true.
Yeah, I understand the game though. Listen, here's a funny thing about it, right? When just touch on the age thing again. It's funny because they say, well, men go younger when they get older. Okay, check. When women get older, the dating pool shrinks. Okay, that's what was stated. But here's the funny thing about it. Another reason why it shrinks is because if a woman that's 50-something don't want to go to a man that's 60-something, okay? Because guess what? To that 60-year-old, guess what? He's the 50-year-old is young for him, right? But the one that's 50 don't want to accept the 65-year-old because he's considered old, right? So when you say something about the dating pool shrinking, yes, that's one part of it. Men go younger, but the other part is something that you guys do. I'm gonna say you guys, but not you in particularly. I'm talking about all the ones who are out there. You shorten your dating pool because you don't want to go 10 years up to 60-something, right?
Yeah.
So
that's something to think about.
Right.
Yeah, you're right.
All right, so it's all good.
Look, yeah.
I'll let you know when I get there.
Yeah, I mean, for me, that 53 was a stretch. I was trying something different.
So what was? Hey, you're my advice. Let me ask you a question. So the 50-year, and you're how old again? I'm sorry, I must have missed it.
44.
44. So the 50-year-old was a stretch. What
53? He was 53. That was like the oldest person I've ever dated.
What stretched it? You said it was a stretch. What made it stretch?
It was just, for me, 53. That was just for me the largest gap. And I guess maybe because it was 53. Because I think, let's see, I've dated maybe when I was younger.
Time out. She didn't say anything about what I asked her about. What was up with him that made it stretch? Now, if if it was the two letters, if one starts with an E and the other one ends with a D, we understand that. But outside the E and the D,
no, because
like, I guess to me, 53 was just maybe a little bit older than what I'm used to dating.
Did he?
Like, I had never
53?
set like a hard, like, I won't date. It was never anything like, I don't have these hard, like, I'm not. So I had never dated someone that much older. Like, I think I've typically date people that are around my age, maybe a couple of years older, and then maybe a couple of years younger. But I had never dated someone that was like 9 years older than me. So like 53, that's like almost 55.
So, but Donna asked you a great question. What was that question you just asked her, Donna? What did you just ask her?
Okay, well, so the thing is, because I know where Mark is going with this, right? So where
no. She said, did he act 53?
Oh yeah. So did he act 53?
I would say he was mature. Definitely didn't look it, in great shape. Still working out. Took really good care of himself. The gym. So physically he didn't look 53.
What about his energy? His energy, did it feel old? Did it feel adventurous? How did it make you feel? His energy.
He wasn't as youthful as I am.
Okay.
Definitely was not as youthful as I am. But I think I'm also a little settled too, so that part didn't bother me. But yeah, definitely not as like.
So you would consider someone that's maybe 53 but has great youthful energy. You would consider that?
Yes.
So it's not the age; it's more so the energy.
Yeah. Because like I said, and I think that was my first time dating someone with that number. Yeah, so he worked out and all that stuff. That was good. But
got you. I'm with you. I get you.